Hello everyone, this is the first instructional video for Saginaw Valley United Pentecostal Church in Bridgeport, Michigan. It'll show you how to turn on all the systems that are needed for the start of the service. So yeah, sometimes you have to walk into a dark building and no lights, and someday the system will be corrected so that there will be a push button just outside the door that is interfaced to the control that I'm going to show you here in a second. And you can see that I've got the light on the camera that I'm using to walk around, and you push the button that's labeled blackout, hit it once, and the main lights in the sanctuary should come on, as well as the cloud lights. Now we're going to go back to turn on the rest of the effects lights, and I'm going to jump forward here to the door that you'll see right there by that baptistry, and I'm showing you that the cloud lights are on, but the effects lights by the cloud are not, as well as the other positional effects lights. So you turn on the switch, and there's two boxes with push buttons on it to turn the relays on to kick on various things. And then on that box, push the green button, and it will kick on all of the various overhead lights. You can see all the banks are on, and the cloud side lights are on as well. You hold the button down for about 5 seconds to make sure everything kicks on. I headed back to the sound booth, and I'm going to turn on the screen for the Mac Mini that runs the lighting system, and it's a button on the right, lower right, far right of the corner. You can see the light that's the same as the button. So that'll kick on, and it's already logged in and so forth. And it has two controls you can see there on the left bottom. And those control the main lights as well as the effects lights. Now the next thing to turn on will be the sound system. And we don't turn on the board yet. A certain sequence we have to follow. The first thing we turn on is the power strip button. It's a flip switch. Kick that on, and all eight of the wireless receivers will kick on. And I'm showing it here twice for some reason. And the next thing we turn on is the Core 32, which X32 rather, that controls the various P16s and some other things on the platform. Now we'll turn on the soundboard, and it's a switch just below the two XLR cables. And it'll take a little bit to come on, but once it's on, I'm going to show you the main volume fader, which is on the far right, and it says main. And we won't want to turn that up just yet. So the next thing we turn on is the powered speakers. And I'm pointing out that we don't use the other control relay yet. That'll be fixed in some future time. And we hold the button down for at least 5 seconds to bring up all the powered speakers. The next thing we can do is now turn up the main, which is sometimes referred to front of house or just house speakers. Now the next thing we're going to tackle is the projection system. That's the monitor for the projection computer, which is down below in the cabinet. So the button is on the middle right if it was standing up. And that'll come up in a minute. And we turn the monitor on. And we'll come back to that later. Now I'm going to run up front again. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. And up on the platform over at the pulpit, I'm going to grab the remote for the projectors. And of course there's a power button on there. And we stand about right in front of the first set of chairs and point it up at the projector. And there's an LED that will start blinking if you've done it right. And it should come on in about 30 seconds. So at this point we're going to run over to the other side to turn on the other projector. You kind of got a tight rope walk across to get and not trip on anything. So, and that also you should be watching for the LED light. And we're going to walk the remote control back into the pulpit and leave it there until we get to end of service and turn everything off. Now I'm going back to the other switch box that we've seen before, and again with the other box that you've noticed it's lit up. You hold down the green button on the bottom until all the lights come on, which is a good at least 3 seconds. And everything is on. To preserve energy, we turn off the switch and we head back to the sound booth. Now that screen that you see right there, the confidence screen, the power is energized to that screen at this point. And we're going to turn on log into the computer first before we turn on that back confidence monitor. Of course, I'm not going to show you the password here. And we hit enter for the password, and it should come up in a second. And we'll let that set and come up and settle itself. Meanwhile, we'll grab the confidence monitor remote and kick that on. But it's already on because somebody didn't turn it off before we hit the button, the red button in the back box in the back. So I'm turning it back on just to show you that it should be turned on correctly. Now the next thing we're going to do is turn on the broadcast machines, various devices. This is a Blackmagic ATEM TV Studio, the original version. And no, there's no power switch. You have to plug in the power adapter to bring it up. And it's kind of a poor design, so we have to keep it cool. Air rushing over the heatsink that sits on top of the processor. And now we'll turn on the large camera, open up the dust screen, dust projector, whatever you want to call it, and the switch is right there, and we move it to the middle position. And of course we check to see that it's coming up and running, and it is. That one is ready and set to go, and so is the TV switcher, or the video switcher. And now we'll kick on one of the monitors. This is a secondary monitor for the Mac Pro sitting under the console. And we'll leave that door open because it gets quite hot in there. Of course, we close it once we're done with the systems, and we turn everything off. Turning on the second monitor, the primary monitor, it's the first little button on the bottom on the right. That screen won't come on until the system is up and running, and there it is. The last thing that I'm turning on here is going to be the small camera, and of course it also has a dust cover in the front. Just flip it up, I believe, or down, and then we push in another port design, and we push it in the power cable. And I'm struggling because I only have one hand to use, and you heard a click right there, and of course you can hear it come on, and we are done. Thanks for watching, and more videos are coming soon. Thank you.